Hello everyone. So today we're doing a IGCSE chemistry paper. It's winter paper 11. It's a multiple choice paper. Let's start with question 1. So what changes occur during boiling? So boiling is a process where you go from liquid to gas. Whereas if you look at the three diagrams, and nucleus clearly says that X is a solid because all the atoms are in the bonded state, and Y is a liquid. So you have some partial movements of the molecules or atoms, and that is a gas. So the particles are free from each other, so they are completely free to move. So boiling is a process from liquid to gas. So this will be from Y to Z. So the correct answer is B. Number 2. So number 2, the answer will be A, because so A is correct. So we are doing a titration using a burette. I think that's using burette, which is P. So question 3, which statement is correct? So only C is correct. Our protons are positively charged. It is wrong because protons and neutrons are in the nucleus. B is wrong because neutron has 0 charge. D is also wrong because nuclear number is a number of neutrons plus protons. Okay, question C. So we have 2 elements here. Potassium, which has a proton number of 19, and fluorine has a proton number of 9. So if they were neutral, they would have 9 electrons and 19 electrons for the potassium. But here you can see we can see the phosphorus is negatively charged, so it should have 10 electrons. So this one gives you 10 if you count the numbers. Because potassium is positively charged, so that you would have 18 electrons. So 19 minus 1, 18. And here gives you 18 electrons. So the correct answer is C. Question 5. What do nuclei of hydrogen atoms contain? So we know that hydrogen atom has a proton and electron, and proton is in the nucleus, so it only has, so the hydrogen atom should only have 1 proton in the nucleus, so it is proton. Okay, so question 6. As we can see, there is 1 electron in the outer shell of X and 5 electrons in the outer shell of Y, and because they are covalently bonded, in a covalent compound, you should reach a 4 shell for each of the elements. So X, you need 1 to reach 4 shell, and Y, you need 3 to reach 4 shell. So it would be 3X surrounding Y. So you have 3 covalent bonds. Each one has a sharing of 2 electrons between X and Y. So the correct formula would be X3Y, and the answer here is D. So number 7, we have magnesium forming a compound with oxygen. We know magnesium is a group 2 metal, so the charge is the oxidation number is +2, and oxygen normally has a oxidation number of -2. So the ratio between magnesium and oxygen would be 1 to 1. So the formula should be MgO. Okay, so number 8. Yeah, so we are we are doing the electrolysis of potassium bromide. We know that anode is positive, and because opposite charges attract each other, so the positive anode will attract the anion, which is bromide in this case, and vice versa. Cathode negative will attract cation, which is the potassium cation. So we have potassium forming at the cathode and bromine forming at the anode. So the answer here is B. Question number 9. We are designing a power cable. So we want something that is light. So it should have low density. And also, obviously, is a cable, so it obviously needs to be electric. It needs to have electric conductivity. So we know aluminium has those properties. So the answer is A. And question number 10. Which one is androthermic? So C is androthermic. Calcium, we have calcium carbonate dissociating to calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. So this process, you're breaking bonds. So it's a bond breaking process which requires energy. So a reaction that requires energy input is a androthermic reaction. So the answer is C. Okay, so question 11. So as we can immediately see here, the reaction is between sodium carbonate and citric acid. So the reaction is between the carbonate anion and the hydrogen cation. So, and it gives you water and carbon dioxide. So we know carbonate ion is basic, and this is obviously acid. So a reaction between base and acid, we call it neutralization reaction. So we have A or B as our answer, and you can see from the graph here, we change from 20 degrees Celsius to like 5 degrees. So there is negative change in temperature from this point to that point. So which means energy is being taken into the system. So that would give you a androthermic reaction. So it's neutralization and it's androthermic. So the answer is A. Question number 12. So what is not required? That will be A. So condenser is used to condense liquid vapor. However, in this case, we are producing carbon dioxide. So we don't need to trap the carbon dioxide. It's not a liquid vapor. So, but a condenser will be used to condense liquid vapor. So it's not relevant in this experiment. So we don't need it. Question 13. So oxidation is a process which the oxidation number of an element increases. Oxidation number increases, and in this case, is D. If we work out the oxidation number, the oxidation number of oxygen is -2, and because you need a net 0 oxidation number for your compound, so the oxidation number of vanadium will be +3, and in this case, again, oxygen is -2, so vanadium will be +5. So the change of oxidation number of vanadium is from +3 to +5. It's an increase in the oxidation number, so the correct answer is D. Okay, question number 14. So we know that the hydrated cobalt chloride is pink, and if we heat it, it will become you will lose the water molecules, and it will become the anhydrous form, which is blue. And if you add a few more drops of water, and now it comes back to the hydrated form. So again, it changes to pink. So the overall color change is from pink to blue to pink. That would be C is the right answer. Question 15. Okay, so we can see here W and Z, they are metal, group 1 group metal. The metal oxide of group 1 and group 2 metal are basic. X is a inert gas. It does not form a compound with oxygen. So only Y is the remaining choice. So the correct answer is D. Let's go to number 16. So we have hydroxylic acid reacting with this white solid, and it gives you bubble. We have two choices. One is nitrate, one is carbonate. We know that there's no reaction between nitrate and acid. Carbonate, it reacts with acid. Sorry. So carbonate is a -2 ion. It reacts with acid and gives you carbon dioxide and water. Right, so this is balancing. So this is consistent with observation, so the choice will be C or D. And from the second observation, we know it forms a white precipitate with ammonia, and it dissolves in excess aqueous ammonia. So we know that the cation will be zinc. So zinc is a cation, and from the second observation, we know it's a zinc cation. And from the first observation, we know it is a carbonate. So the correct answer is D, zinc carbonate. Number 13. So which is not characteristics of a base? So it should be, the answer is A, because carbonate is a base. It reacts with acid to give you carbon dioxide, but it can't react with base. So A is a wrong statement. Number 18. Okay, so we are producing a salt from basically a neutralization reaction between acid and a metal oxide. So the first step will be 4. We need to heat the acid to activate the process, basically to give more energy to the reagent, so we can activate the reaction. And 4 is the first one, and the second one is 1, because now we are just mixing the reagent. And after we mix the reagent and the reaction has happened, because the solid is in excess, so we have a mixture of solid plus liquid. So we want to get rid of the solid. So the third step will be 3. We are filtering out the unwanted solid. And the last step will be 2. So after you filter out the solid, you have a beaker of liquid solution left. So it consists of water and dissolved salt. And now the last step will be step 2. So you are just evaporating the water and leave you with the salt. So it's 4, 1, 3, 2, and the answer is C. Question 19. So in question 19, both of the statements are wrong, because here lithium is so potassium is further down the group, and we know for group 1 metal the reactivity increases down the group. So 1 is wrong, and 2, chlorine is down the group than fluorine. It's further down the group than fluorine. So 2 is also wrong because we know that the reactivity of the halogen group, it decreases down the group. So this is also wrong. So both are wrong. So the right choice is D. Okay. Let's go on to the next question. So question 20. So question 20, so elements are arranged in order of proton numbers. You know that because this is a definition of the periodic table. And 2, melting points of element. It should decrease down the group because group 1 element are metals. So they are governed by metallic bonding, the strength which decrease down the group because the size of the metallic radius of the atoms, they decrease. They increase down the group. So the metallic bonding gets weaker, so the melting points decrease. But oppositely, this one, halogen elements, the melting point would increase down the group because group 7, they are governed by covalent bonding. So the further down the group, the better. The covalent bonding is governed by the orbital overlap. The further down the group, the bigger the size of the halogen atoms, so the better the orbital overlap. So the higher the strength between the atoms. So the higher the melting point. So proton decrease, increase. The answer here is C. Question 21. A transition metal, so it should have a good electron conductivity because it's metal. It should have a high density and a high melting point. So here, the answer is B. Question 22. We need inert noble gas to fill the balloon. Is unreactive because it has so we need an inert noble gas. In this case, we use helium to fill the balloon. So if you look at the periodic table, helium has a proton number of 2. So to make it overall neutral, it needs 2 electrons. So D is the right choice. Okay. Number 23. So alloy is a metal, and metal has metallic bonding. Okay. So if we look at the bonding structures, A is ionic, obviously. So A is wrong. B is covalent. It's also wrong. C and D, they are metallic. And the second thing of alloy, you have a mixture of metal elements. From the systematic drawing here, D seems like it only has 1 element, but C, you have 2 different types of atoms. So it has a mixture of elements. That's a alloy. Number 24. Okay, so number 24, we are looking at different reactivity of different metals. So this one, it reacts most vigorously, so that is the most reactive. And X, it reacts, but not as vigorous as that. So X is next in the reactivity. And Y, it does not react at all. So Y is the least reactive. And if you cross-check with the metal activity series, which tells you which metal is more reactive and which metal is less reactive, so you know that the answer is A. So this is the right sequence in the metal activity series. Number 25. So we need one material for those three applications. As you can see, we want a light metal, which has a low density. And we want a good mechanical strength. We want it to be tough. So the only metal from here that that meets the requirement is aluminium. So A is the right answer. Number 26. Okay, so number 26 we have. So number 26 we are producing iron from ore. So the process of this is a reduction. So in which we have carbon monoxide reducing iron oxide, which is ore, to give you carbon dioxide and iron. So to balance, we don't need to balance. I'm not going to balance the equation here because we already know the answer. The product of this reduction reaction is a carbon dioxide. Question 27. So which statements are correct? The only wrong statement here is 2. Because the filter is used to remove soils and things like dirt. But if it's already soluble, you cannot filter them. So A, 1, 3, 4 are the right answers. The choice for this question will be C. Okay, number 28, which is use of oxygen. So the first one, we need inert noble gas for lamp. B, steam is used to produce ethanol from ethene. D, we need carbon monoxide to reduce the iron ore. And C, yes, oxygen reacts with methane. Okay. Number 29, what is not the effect of carbon monoxide? You know it's not A and C. They are not greenhouse gas which contribute to the climate change. And it's not corrosive, but it's poisonous. It takes up your oxygen. So it makes you suffocate. So it's poisonous. So the right answer is D. Question 30. In a fertilizer, we need 3 elements: potassium, phosphorus, nitrogen. And the only answer that gives you all of the 3 elements is C. Number 31. What does not produce carbon dioxide? So that would be C, because alkali is basic. Carbonate is basic as well. A base, it does not react with a base. So a carbonate will react with acid to give you carbon dioxide, but not alkali. Number 22. So we have some undamped iron and some water. So in air, iron react with water and oxygen to give you iron oxide. So in the process, you need to consume oxygen, which means that the pressure within the tube decreases. So the atmospheric pressure will be higher than the pressure here. So it pushes the water into the tube. But so the answer will be from B or C, but it cannot take up as that much. because there is simply not that much oxygen in the air to give you a very low pressure, and the water does not increase that much. So the right answer is B. It goes up a little bit. Number 23. Which produce both carbon dioxide and methane? A, C, and D, they give you carbon dioxide only. B, they give you both carbon dioxide and methane because cattle, they do respiration, which gives you carbon dioxide, and also they fart to produce methane. So both carbon dioxide and methane. The right choice here is B. So number 34, here is obvious because all the three applications, all the three are the correct applications of limestone. So 1, 2, 3, the number is A. Okay. Question 35. Ethene, this is obviously not ethane. It's a ethene which has a double bond. But this one and that one, they are correctly named. So the right answer here will be B. So number 36, in polymerization, we have ethene monomers. So generally we have alkene monomers. They undergo polymerization to give you polyalkane. So go from alkene to alkane. That will be choice C. 37, obviously, A is wrong. A fuel oil is used to make fuels. So the choice is A. Number 38. So yeah, both fermentation and ethane reacting with steam gives you ethanol. Okay, both of them. So the right choice is A. Number 39, we have different organic molecules here. First one is alkane. Second one, alcohol. Third one, carboxylic acid. Last one is alkane. So we have alcohol, alkane, carboxylic acids. The only one we don't have is alkane. So C is the right choice. Okay, the last question. Okay, so this is basically the reverse of the polymerization. It's cracking. So we go from large polyalkane to small alkene molecules. So we go from large to small. So A and B, and we know that alkene react with bromine for bromination. So that will decolorize the bromine because the bromine molecules are reacted. So go from large to small, and alkene decolorize the bromine. So the right choice is obviously A.